All right, and we are live again, guys. We're back up. Sorry about that. The live is back up. I had a client. I'm like, did we have a call scheduled? A client was like calling me multiple times. And then I realized, and he's like, oh, I accidentally butt dialed you. Man, I literally ended my live for that. That was a big one. Let's get back over to it. But back over to the point, I will link the other one in case anyone missed it, or you guys can go check it out. But yes, we had said Mike O'Hearn was definitely not natural. Let's keep these lives flowing, though. Let's get everybody back in here. Let's get everything back up and going, get the questions going. But I'm not going to answer some of the goofball questions anymore. I'm just going to stop with the silly ones. But back over to this. So again, continuation. I broke down why Mike is not natural. But I would love to get over to everyone's questions, everyone's comments. Let's do this stuff. But unfortunately, I got to turn that alerts off from my messenger so that clients can't do that, because I have nothing scheduled. There's no reason why any of my clients should be directly calling me in the middle of these right now. So Chuck said, what happened, coach? One of my clients butt dialed me in a video call through Messenger accidentally. He apologized. I just sent him his spreadsheet for the week, and I'm like, he did it twice in a row. So it's like, I'm thinking, is this a client emergency? Did I schedule a client call that I forgot about? No. Yes, Chuck, because coaching is my job. So if a client calls me, you guys heard the ringing. If a client calls me, I tend to answer it, but I need to set a boundary with that. I'm going to do this many important lives where we don't do that anymore. King Bruce, I need you to be specific. I've heard millions of things about David Goggins. I don't, you're going to have to be very, very specific. Pepper Pig, that GBS guy was so triggered yesterday, and you still get people who believe he's natural. The delts are too big for, well, it's not just that. You can see where he pins the delt. Like, and I don't mean sight enhancement oil, Pepper. I mean, literally, it's where he does his shots. Like I do my glutes, he does his delts. That's where he chooses to pin. You can see it. I mean, it's that simple. But yeah, the other stuff. Like, again, he was very triggered. Again, I think his E2 is out of range. You know, should get some bloods done. Right? You should get some bloods done. But yeah, so this is part 2 of the stream. Sorry I had to end that. I wish I wouldn't have done that. David Goggins is not a fitness person. He is a motivational guy. You should absolutely not listen to what David Goggins has to say about fitness. And here's why. What does everyone say about that topic? What does everyone, Chuck, they've got a question with their training. They got hurt. Something happened. Something happened where they need to reach their coach. Something going on in the gym. They need an emergency shift or something. Normally they should just message me, but I do get those calls occasionally. I tend to answer client calls unless I am tied up with something. Sorry, it's my job. So there's a reason only clients have access and a handful of people the ability to call me directly like that through filters. David Goggins has nothing to do with fitness. You shouldn't take his fitness advice. It's like everyone says, ex-Navy SEALs are not the best person to get fitness advice from. They're not. Every coach tells you that. Every expert tells you that. This is not where you get your fitness advice. You go to a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL like David Goggins, when your goal is to overthrow a third world country. Right? If you need to learn how to build an insurgency to overthrow a small country, you go get David Goggins. That's the mofo you want. Right? David Goggins is the guy you go get when you probably need to knock out a whole cartel. But you don't get your fitness advice from him. You will get hurt. Navy SEALs are built different. That whole type of group of people are just genetically different. Their mindset is different to even make it to selection. All right. Yeah, his advice is impractical and unrealistic. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the point. Are you a fan of upright rows? Yes, I do upright rows on camera every week. Matt? I mean, Matt, if you see me doing exercise every single week in my training, I think it's safe to say I am possibly a fan of it. You know, as a general rule, there could be exceptions. I might hate that exercise and I still do it. But no, I'm a fan of upright rows. I like them. I think they're good overall shoulder developer. I think some fitness influencers are scared you call them out for being not natty. I mean, we've already had, look, the first one I did, GVS, he popped up. Because I used to be the king of that. I mean, people tried to knock me down and make my opinion into nothing, but they're about to find out, right? Right? They're about to find out. They're about to find out. So, all right. Give me a second here, guys. All right. John, not that many, honestly. All right. Please play some. No, I don't feel like playing guitar for you guys right now. Nope. We're going to discuss fitness stuff. We're going to discuss all this other stuff. We're not doing guitar shredding right now. Not what we're doing. So, who's next in the natty or not list? I don't know. I've got a whole list of people. I got a whole list of people. I'm going to have to pick the next one for tomorrow. How low should you go on a good morning? Should you go as low as possible? I have an entire tutorial on that. I literally made a whole long tutorial called How to Good Morning. It shows you how to determine all that. I don't have a significant other right now, John. But your significant other should generally support your fitness journey. I've made videos on that. Joe Rogan natty or not, I have no idea. Okay. Spoiler alert, every single natty or not person is not natty. They're probably not. There could be exceptions. Okay, Joe Rogan is openly on TRT. Well, then that's the end of that. I mean, I would expect Joe at this point in the game to be doing TRT. At the minimum, probably a little growth hormone. So you would just expect that. Seems perfectly reasonable. Seems perfectly reasonable. Right? Joe, does the first use of tier nullify the natty card? I don't know. I don't even know how we want to define that anymore. I mean, there's a point where we go, do we care? I mean, do we care? Like, do we really care what nullifies a natty card anymore? Do you even care about your natty card? Like what's the point of this? Someone wants to go on TRT, go on TRT. And that's kind of my point with the whole thing. Like, why do we care? Right? Why do we even care? So again, the whole point doesn't matter. People get so hung up in that. your Natty card. What the fuck even is that? What does that even mean? Because people will call you a bad person, but only in this little community. We're getting to a point where no one cares. Look, we're at a point where, we're at a point where testosterone is normal, right? It's mainstream. Women go and take growth hormone from doctors prescribed to tighten their skin, middle-aged women. Ozempic's being prescribed for weight loss. You see where we're going with this? Outside of a little niche in the fitness world, most of them are only using it to sell supplements. Nobody cares. Imagine, yes, this is live. So what happened earlier? I had a client emergency. I thought it was, but it was just a call. Okay. He and I talked about it ahead of time. We decided of how do we want to deal with that for now. And the first one, we're like, we'll just enable them and see how it goes. Right? That's all it is to it. It was totally a client. I said, stop lying. Like, guys, I actually make my living coaching. You can be in denial of that all you want. General public is often very anti-male on the topic of TRT. Unfortunately, you think men using doctors prescribed hormones is bad, but they applaud women getting the same sort of treatment. But they really don't, Benji. Right? They really don't. John, we've covered the alcohol. My behavior when I drank was beyond unacceptable. It's very straightforward. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? No, I don't have any New Year's resolutions. But yeah, Benji, the general public isn't that anti-TRT, not in my experience, right? Chris says neck training equals sleep apnea. Subject to a great deal of debate. Maybe the front and stuff, yes. I would say the rear, definitely not. You're going to roast Wes Watson. I don't know that I need to roast Wes Watson. Does the neck training actually help? Yeah, neck training helps. It's been documented. Like neck training reduces concussions. It reduces whiplash. Definitely reduces concussions in contact sports. This has actually been studied, right? Imagine they're not going to shut my channel down. They never did before, and no one else gets shut down for it. Okay? They don't shut you down for that. This guy. Neck training should be a top priority. Yeah, I agree to some extent. Do you have some roast? No, I don't have any roast videos in the key. I'm just going to make them as I go. I'm a soccer player that plays in a local club. I want to get bigger. Any tips? I'm 6 foot 165. Well, you need to lift weights, Solomon. Lift weights. Right? Lift weights. Pretty straightforward. You guys are so weird. No, I've never used a single sock account or anything. All right, get rid of this nonsense. Gino, Jason, why is there so much content on YouTube? People saying you like Buddy. I have no idea. I literally have no idea why people think that. I have the iron neck for neck training. It works well. I just use the neck harness. Jason is a punisher of the fitness industry. Maybe, I don't know about that. But I used to call out all the bullshit. And I'm going to keep doing it, right? Because that worked for me back in the day. It worked. It was my thing. It always gave me good outreach. It even gave me clients, gave me all that stuff. Why not keep doing it? I've been nice to this industry and it hasn't been helpful. This industry needs to be roasted. The nonsense needs to be roasted, right? It needs to be. The fake supplements, the garbage, all the nonsense. It just needs to be called out at this point. The gossip videos. Well, it's not even about, George, it's not even gossip, man. It is literally about simply setting stuff correct for people. Stopping the scam, stopping the nonsense, keeping the public educated regarding important matters, regarding the fitness supplements being scammed. Solomon, we're getting into very detailed stuff that I do videos on. Again, that's consultation stuff. Hit me up for consultations. Hit me up for coaching, any of that, if you really need help with those things. Right there. Because I can't just do in a live stream tell you how to eat more. I don't know what's going on with your food. Ola says it will still work today. Look at Greg. It does work. He jumped into my calling out a fake Natty thing and made a fortune doing it. Pepper says, very good. You're also helping people be aware of the fake natties, especially you might be new to fitness, right? Imagine it's $250 these days, but I am running a New Year's special at $200. But at this point, my normal rates are $250. I was doing $3, but I think that's too much for most people in this economy. I have no concept of what Mike Rashid does these days. I have no clue. I haven't seen anything that Mike has put out really in at least 6 or 7 years. Benji says, I see so much misinformation in the fitness world today. I keep seeing these videos saying barbell bent over rows are a bad exercise. Yeah, exactly. I really can't stand some of the science-based fitness community these days that seem to have an aversion to big barbell lifts. You notice they're always small. Exactly. Ola says science-based scammers who say classic time-tested exercises like barbell rows or bench press are bad, not optimal. Yeah, I mean, come on. Come on. All right. Chuck says, this is amazing. Jason is back. Can't beat a barbell lift. Peter, the thing is, though, you guys have me at what? One dishonesty, which I apologize for. I've already apologized. Half the other stuff that people think I lied about, I didn't. Or you guys made your own versions of it. Let's just be honest here. All right. Okay. Do you think people like Sam Salute still use substance today, or the only what? John, come on, there's no way. Of course he's still on tons of stuff. He has to be. You don't just get that big on gear and come off and just keep that much size. That's not how it works, John. All right. Remember Bald Omni Man? He was a big fan of you, but I think he fell out with you over belt squat dispute. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. He fell out over silly stuff. He was a big fan. Followed my stuff, was on all my social media. He was on everything. The dude just decided to jump over, kind of jump on the bandwagon against me. You know, again, all for clout. Was Jeff Nipper the one who got smacked by the roid head? Yeah, that whole situation. I covered that, dude, in lives. We discussed all that, right? We discussed it. It's unfortunate, you know, and I'll be fair. Like, no, Jeff Nipper didn't actually deserve that. Like, whatever opinions you have in the situation, there was no reason for that. That was completely uncalled for. Like, Jeff didn't actually do anything that warranted that guy hitting him. He just didn't. You know, it's very straightforward. That was completely uncalled for. Just like Alpha Destiny, yeah, same thing. Alex followed my stuff religiously and then hopped over and whatever. John, that's not a. I've done I've done some videos discussing that stuff in detail as to why certain ones you will shrink faster than others, why some of them cause some extra fake muscle. There's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. So it's not a if you take substances you quickly shrink, right? That's not how it works. Now I'm not doing the green beard again. Well, George, yet they've seen me then as an old man come in and hit 605 on a squat later. So, I mean, there's a problem with that. But whatever. Keeping in mind, I've been pretty close to most of those. Imagine I don't actually have a girlfriend, so I don't know where you're coming from with that. Do you think Alpha Destiny is Natty? And if not, how much is he using? No, he's not Natty, but I don't know how much he's using. Again, now we're getting into other stuff. John says, do the things you affected. You are always working on healing with that. Obviously, that sort of stuff, right? That sort of stuff, you don't ever fully heal. It's always a continual thing, right? It's a continual healing process. Just a guy in 53 Russell claiming Natty. No, never heard of him. Did you really love the leg press? Yeah, George, I loaded crazy amounts of weight on the leg press. That's why I don't think leg press stuff is super impressive. But then that's why, again, look at like Ronnie Coleman did huge amounts of weight on it. And keep in mind, Ronnie was strong, but it's not like, how do I put it? Yeah, you guys saw Ronnie Coleman just rep 2,000 plus pounds all day long. And Ronnie could squat 800 in a suit and wraps, which is dang strong, right? Which is dang strong. But you see kind of where I'm going with this? So if you have someone who is then squatting 600 raw, which again, you guys have seen me build up to that sort of strength range, that's not a crazy thing. It really is not that crazy. Again, compare to what you know from known people. And when you look at it and realize that, it's not even that extreme of a claim. So yeah, that was actually true. Yeah, his bench squat wasn't that. It was not some wise stuff with it, but it is what it is. I'm not even going to hate on Ken O'Body for that. I mean, let's just be fair. Let's not hate on that. At least he was doing some legs. Winning says to hold a low back extension when squatting. Yeah, some truth to that. Why do you ban? I don't ban everyone. Very few people being banned. How much of a body transformation can someone make in 1 month? I don't know. However much they can make. Why don't you just get in and do it, King Bruce? Thoughts on athletes who smoke cannabis? I don't have an issue with it. Is Cali Russell really broke? No, I don't think he's broke. Not to my knowledge. Okay. Do you believe that TRT does not increase blood clot risk? I don't think that it does. Okay. Hold on. All right, I got some other stuff going on, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. We did a couple of these here back to back. I think we should be good. So I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals, and I will talk to you next time.